Gloria Watkins is an author, academic, feminist and social activist who was born on September 25th, 1952 into a poor, working-class African-American family in Hopkinsville, Kentucky in South America. She began her education at a segregated public school where she was taught by mostly African-American women who she said helped shape her self-esteem and her views on life. In 1964, when President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act, which got rid of segregation that was implemented by Jim Crow laws, Watkins, as well as her 5 sisters and 1 brother, were moved to integrated schools. Her new integrated school was described as being the complete opposite of her old school, as well as Watkins believing that her new, mostly Caucasian women teachers were more interested in transferring knowledge rather than expanding the minds of the students. Watkins went on to receive a scholarship to Stanford University, where she received her bachelor's in English literature. In 1976, she received her master's degree at the University of Wisconsin, and in 1983, she received her PhD at the University of California in Santa Cruz. Over her career, she has published over 20 books, many on her views on feminism and her theories on learning. Her first book being in 1981, being under the title Anti-Woman, Black Women and Feminism. This is her first book on feminism, and she fully describes her ideas where feminism should be inclusive to women of all colour and race, whereas before it wasn't. And through her publications, Watkins has helped pave the way for women of colour and African American women in feminism. As well as many books on feminism, Watkins has published many books on teaching, her first being in 1994 under the title Teaching to Transgress, Education as the Practice of Freedom. This book, she teaches about her and speaks about her theories of transgression and self-actualization, where we should be teaching children and teachers to transgress against what we've been told about social and class and money and wealth and everything like that, and we should be focusing on the person as the individual and not what their race is and what their wealth is, as well as teaching children to self-actualize and be confident in themselves. Watkins, over her career, has published each book under the name Bell Hooks to honour her great-grandmother, as well as to focus on her message and not her name. Watkins' writing is relevant to Australia today because Australia is a very diverse country, and over the years of Australia being colonialised, we've had much transgression against each other of people of different races, and I think it's very important for people who still may hold ill will against people of other races or religions, etc., to transgress and not believe in that kind of stuff. As a future teacher, I believe Watkins' teachings and ideas are very important because as a teacher, it's very important to transgress against maybe parents who have different ideas than me. It's important for me to teach and treat every child the same, and I think it's very important for children to try and self-actualize and to teach children to self-actualize. I would like to end this video by saying my favourite Bell Hooks quote, which is, "Revolution begins in the self and with the self."